Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is July 29, 2019, where we're here just to give you all the news according to the charts, and as well we analyze the articles that we come across to make sure that the sentiment that these articles are trying to display, if they are in fact being seen on the price chart. Thank you for coming to our channel on today. If this is your first time looking at our video and you appreciate the content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like and share the video as well, because we definitely want to let everyone else know about this channel, because not only are we analyzing these articles, we're telling you precisely what we're expecting the market to do before it actually does it. If you want to have more information about the other altcoins that we cover, the link is going to be in the description of our video, HueFinancial.com. Go there, sign up, and you guys will have access to our cryptocurrencies paired against Bitcoin if your whole purpose is trying to accumulate more Bitcoin the easy way. So now, the title of this video is called The War on Bitcoin. The article right here on the left side of my screen came out yesterday, and I thought, man, that'd be a good video to talk about, to see if each and every one of you are prepared for the war against Bitcoin, and if so, what are you going to do to prepare for it? The title reads, "The war on Bitcoin is starting, and embracing real struggles to happen is the smartest thing to do." Now, the traditional world of finance has been apprehensive about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and you want to know why? Because it's going to revolutionize the way that we do business, and it loosens the grasp of their regulatory framework on the ordinary citizen. Now, while some people believe that Bitcoin will wither away, I don't know who those people will be. It is clear, though, that the rest of the market disagrees. And you can tell right there on the right side of my screen that the market truly disagrees, because the price in Bitcoin continues to move higher. So now you got people around the world who are struggling to maintain some type of control over these cryptocurrencies. But one expert weighed in on what future Bitcoin could potentially have now. Regulators cannot regulate something that they did not create. So now the world governments of the world can regulate fiat money, because why? They created it. They printed out of thin air, and literally they have control over that which they create. And seeing that Bitcoin is created, but you have no source of creation, how can you regulate something that you have not created? That's why so many regulatory bodies of the world are having issues with laws and regulations and taxes, because Bitcoin is not taxable within itself. Now, if you go and you input some fiat currency in an exchange for Bitcoin, and then you take it back out in fiat, then yes, that's taxable, because you increase your fiat innings from your outings. Okay. But if you maintain your cryptocurrency and it stays cryptocurrency, they can't tax that. So now let's take a look at it. So Bitcoin is growing in popularity around the world. Regulators are trying to examine Bitcoin. Stronger regulations could easily become strict bans on cryptocurrency. And we heard that China tried to do that before. And now we're seeing India trying to do the same thing. As the Federal Reserve urges caution against the industry and the Treasury Secretary expresses the belief that cryptocurrency could ultimately be a threat to national security, investors don't seem deterred, and they're not. What threat to national security is he referring to? He hasn't given you any specifics. So again, it seems like he's trying to deter people from placing their fiat into something more valuable. Some countries are even trying to stop the use of cryptocurrency with a ban on Bitcoin, like India and China, while others try to create their own cryptocurrencies. So China tried to ban Bitcoin a while back and it wasn't successful. So now they're going to try to create their own cryptocurrency. Iran is doing the same thing. Venezuela has created their own currency. Facebook is trying to create their own currency. Like, this is going to be phenomenal how the world transpires in the future. So, according to theory by Eric Voskuil, there are 4 phases that Bitcoin will ultimately go through with the regulators and the government bodies. The first stage is the honeymoon phase. Second one is the black market. Third is competition. And the fourth is they will surrender. The United States is still in the honeymoon stage, which means that governments aren't fully outlawing Bitcoin yet. So should you be taking the opportunity and the advantage of that occurring right now? I know I've seen some articles to where there are some financial banking institution that has locked up individuals' banking accounts because of them buying cryptocurrencies. Now, regulatory pressure on any companies that are presently involved in the crypto market or in the environment. So that's precisely what I'm just talking about. Now, this phase, the honeymoon phase, is characterized by a desire of state agencies to retail regulatory control, meaning U.S. banking institutions, cryptocurrency exchanges will have to follow AML, KYC, but Bitcoin itself, they can regulate. So that's why they're trying to go out on the outer shell of the transactions of Bitcoin to try to regulate those things, to try to keep a lid on the ultimate currency breaking out and eradicating the fiat system which is currently in place. Okay. So now Bitcoin should enter the black market phase, during which time the governments will outlaw Bitcoin transactions and the mining of Bitcoin, which they cannot do as long as the world has a network connection, i.e. the internet. Anywhere in the world, Bitcoin will operate. So if the miners have to go in the backwoods or secluded places, they will do that. In many countries of the world, this stage is already taking place due to the worries that the monopoly on fiat currency is being threatened in that stage. So the monopoly that fiat currently has right now is in fact threatened with a freer currency that has no central foundation, and you can transact across the globe without any intervening of a third party. You don't have to disclose who you are, and you can still receive goods and services. That's how powerful Bitcoin is. This article goes on to state that one of the latest countries to enter this stage is India, as the regulators have already proposed a complete ban that will criminalize the digital possession, mining, and transacting of Bitcoin. So they're definitely taking it to the extremes in India because of their fiat monetary system is being threatened. What law could they instill to criminalize something that they cannot control? And remember, something that they did not even create. How can you make it against the law? How can someone become a criminal for something that you and I have no place of knowing where it came from? Now, during the black market phase, it is possible that other states will end up issuing their own digital currency. That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to outlaw Bitcoin, you're going to turn around and create your own currency that you're going to force on people to use. It's going to coincide with the adoption of the official new money called Fed coin, or some other type of coin that everyone needs to use. But then You go around and look at the world today, many of us don't use cash. The monetary system for the fiat is already digital. If you have access to debit card, credit cards, sometimes even on your smartphone, fiat currency is already digital. So why would they go ahead and issue a completely different digital currency? Because they know that their time is up. And now they're going to try to play catch up to Bitcoin, but it's over. An article by CCN points out how close this is to a proposal in India for a digital rupee to be the only available form of legal tender. China, Russia, Iran, and Venezuela have all come out with their own cryptocurrencies that they are trying out as well. So fiat is trying to go digital, but fiat is already digital. So why are they trying to create a digital rupee if they have access to MoneyGram, PayPal, debit and credit services? The rupee is already digital. However, if the states end up working together to eradicate cryptocurrency, the situation could get worse, creating a worldwide war on Bitcoin. While this would be a worst case scenario, Bitcoin users should still take note. Now, that's the question I want to pose to each and every one of you. What are you going to do to survive a war on Bitcoin? Now, if it becomes a reality of a war on Bitcoin, what steps are you going to take to prevent access to accumulating more Bitcoin? Are you going to hide your Bitcoin? Are you going to keep quiet about what you're doing with your Bitcoin? So there's a person right here at the bottom of this article, Nick Carter. He's a co-founder of coinmetrics.io and a partner of Castle Island Ventures. He explained that it is likely that the United States will implement stricter regulations rather than a full-out ban. How strict can the United States really get? Overseas ownership and exchange have already been criminalized in some jurisdictions. So maybe that's what he's talking about for the United States. The exchanges operating here on the United States and the ownership of Bitcoin can become criminalized in some jurisdictions. So now, kind of like in Malta. Malta is the country that is welcoming Bitcoin. That's why Binance and many other exchanges have set up shop in that country. What do you think is going to happen when these other countries and states create more stricter regulations for Bitcoin? They're just going to go up and move to a friendlier area of cryptocurrency. In which case, it can be Wyoming for the United States, because I know that they're trying to propose some legislation, at least some regulatory clarity as to what and how they're going to regulate this cryptocurrency. The governments cannot afford to have their citizens move to a more friendly cryptocurrency location. Why? Because they're going to tear into their revenues of taxes and many other benefits that the governments have by simply having members or citizens in their locale. So now, all in all, pay attention. The next few years is going to be a very big deal for Bitcoin. And the governments will soon realize that Bitcoin is not going to go anywhere, which leaves them with a decision: fight back or regulate, or I'm going to add one more, or surrender. Let us know what you think about this article and the war on Bitcoin, and what are you going to do when times get rough. So now, let's talk about our analysis for Bitcoin today. As you can tell that the war on Bitcoin, all the way since Bitcoin came into fruition back 2013 when it's first listed on Bitstamp. Does it look like Bitcoin is losing the war? Now, it took a bruise and a major loss during 2018. But again, in the end, will Bitcoin be the victor? Let me know with a comment. Last time we did a video for Bitcoin was right here on the 17th of July. And we can tell what our expectation was in the market. And we were looking for Bitcoin to continue to move to the downside. And it has been doing that. And as a matter of fact, I'm still seeing indication that Bitcoin is weak. I'm going to leave this price target on for Bitcoin right now. I don't see a lot of things really affecting Bitcoin to move to the upside just yet. You can tell though twice that the market in Bitcoin has held $9,200. Last time we did our video, we expected that can be support or even 8,800. So I'm going to keep this price target on in the market for Bitcoin. You can see that if we were in fact to take profits out of the market in Bitcoin, 6.32% market profit in that move. But what we're going to do, we're going to keep our ultimate gold ongoing in Bitcoin. I still expect it to try to hit that $8,800 price, and then we'll have to go ahead and reevaluate what the market is generating for us at that time. So again, the price chart does not lie. The war on Bitcoin is losing for those who are against Bitcoin, and it is winning for those who are for Bitcoin. You can tell by the value of Bitcoin from this price chart. And when the ultimate battle is won, it's anyone's guess as to how much one Bitcoin is going to cost paired against a fiat currency. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure y'all maintain your profitability, and don't forget to check us out at our website, HueFinancial.com.